Today I'm actually sharing from, I guess you can call it a place of vulnerability, because almost everybody that's online now would be aware of the fact that I've just gone through a breakup, or I can't say going through, because severing ties is really like a process. Emotional ties is a process. But that hasn't been the difficulty for me, or even the difficulty for my online audience. My community is really baffled by just the negativity and the aggression and the vitriol and the dishonesty, downright lies, as people try to frame my own life in a way that makes them comfortable. So whatever it is that people want to think I am, or whoever they want to think I am, they frame every single circumstance to match their perception of me. And this situation is really no different. So you'll see all over the place people making some very strange allegations and assertions, and and I'll walk you through how I'm dealing with that on this live, because it's a question as it come up in the comment threads under my posts quite a lot. How do you do that? Because that is hard, Krystal. How are you showing up? How are you, still confident and happy and just look well with all of what is going on? And to be fair, I have to tell you, I don't see all of what is going on. So a lot of the pages where the mischief is happening and the disrespect and the lies and the bring down, I don't follow those pages, so I really can't see. And I brag about my friends all the time. I have such a good circle of people around me. Them now go take up the phone and go, girl, child. They're not gonna do that. And they're not gonna just forward wacky messages into our WhatsApp chats, personal chats, or group chats. That's not who they are. And I'm so grateful to have people like that to call friends, sisters, brothers. So a lot of what you may be seeing online, believe me when I tell you, I don't see not even 1% of it. Not even 1% of it, because I've curated my circle so meticulously that a good energy alone surround me, and people who want to empower me and lift up my spirits and encourage me. And I don't have anybody close to me who secretly wants to see me suffer and will just take time, poison the well, and just share some stuff where I go show you off. Even if they're going to show me something that they think it's important for me to know, they actually ask permission first. Like, is it okay to share this screenshot? It's about so and so, and I think you might want to frame, to know what's happening. Even to share a screenshot, like my friends ask me, is it okay to share that with you? So, I say that to say, guys, I can't tell you not to be upset about what you're seeing, because I don't know like half of what you're seeing. But rest assured that my well has not been polluted or poisoned. And I'm able to keep a smile and, keep my energy high and be optimistic and loving and supportive in a time when I also need support, because I don't have anybody in my space that are just like, bring down now. Don't have anybody like that. And I'm grateful. So I want to say thank you publicly again for my friends. And I know some people are trying to come at my friends and my friendships with the slander, with the sus, with the bangarang, but it's not gonna work. You can't make something up and expect that that's going to destroy real friendships. That's not how real friendships work. So because I exist in a space of honesty with my friends, them not have to think twice when me say something, and me not have to think twice when them say something. And I really value that. Like, that has been a major tool, in the toolkit going through this valley. And that's what I want to talk about tonight, how we deal with difficult situations. And I feel so privileged, because for me it's a privilege to be able to stand in my valley now and see all the things that are going on, feel all the things that are to be felt, hear what is to be heard, and still feel anchored and safe and sure and certain of me and my worthiness. Sometimes when we're going through difficult situations, the first thing we question is who we are. We begin to doubt who we are. And I want to say to anybody who is going through something painful, difficult, hard, you probably can't share it with anybody in your circle. You probably don't have a trusted confidant, an ear that is really just willing to listen to you compassionately and serve your emotional interest and not their like a sinister interest. Maybe you don't have anybody who you can share with, and you feel like you're standing in your valley by yourself. Two things I want to say to you. If you're going through that process, and I'm speaking from experience, right? Not reading this out of no book, and not pulling something out of thin air. I'm telling you from my experience what has worked for me, and I want to share it with you. I've come to accept that failing is a part of living. You're going to take risks. You're going to make an attempt. You're going to try something new. You're going to invest time, money, energy, whatever. And it's not every time it's going to work. But failing is a part of living. If you make no attempt and you take no risk, you're not fully living. Because that means you're in your comfort zone where everything's sure and everything's certain and you know how everything works already. So there's nothing new. You can't learn nothing new. You can't develop no new skill. You can't move in on a new zone and a higher level because you're in that comfort zone where you're sure about everything. You know how everything works. Those of us living outside of our comfort zone, challenging ourselves, taking risks, pushing the boundaries, trying to stretch ourselves beyond who we know now and get ourselves into the who we would like to become. We know this already as a fact, that failure is a part of this thing called living. I have gotten comfortable with that. It is the fear of failure that keeps people from trying new things and ever experiencing anything new and different in life. Because they're afraid that they're going to fail at it, and they're so afraid to fail that they don't even make the attempt. The success that you enjoy in life is not because you set the goal and achieve the goal. That's not the only way to measure success. For some of us, success is going the journey, right? You may not end up precisely where you thought you would end up. But it's the act of moving from point A to point B, trusting yourself to work out a plan, training yourself so your legs don't fail upon the journey, dropping a 2 pothole, get up and keep walking, miss the left turn ready for make, and you have to make an extra one and come back around to catch back the left turn. You see, who you become on that journey to the goal is far superior to whatever that goal is. Because they have taken that journey to tell yourself that this is where I am. And I feel like I could go 10 miles. And everybody around here say, what do you mean you can go 10 miles? You don't know, say 2 mile shoes you get. You got 10 miles. 10 miles where? Nobody else don't know how far 10 miles down, what they over mile 6, much less mile 10. Where you go? We don't know. Nobody never gonna send back a picture yet. Me not have no WhatsApp message for say, yeah, mile 10 nice. Where you going? Stay here so I could do 2 mile at a time. Right? After 5 attempts, eventually we get to 10. And I said, no, mom, I feel like I can just make one shot and go 10. Not enough people in your circle will be clear on why you're gonna do that. Not enough people to support you and say, yeah man, go on. Whatever it turn out to be, however I decide to go, just know something in your corner, I have your back. Come and trust you. You trust yourself? Alright, come and trust you. You believe in yourself? Okay, come and believe in you. I'm there for you. So if your energy I tell you say 10 years go for going for 10, I can only manage 2, But me now make the fact say me can only manage 2 stop you from go for your 10. And that's why I talk so much about having good friends. The people you surround yourself with two things can happen. Because you and all your friends are not going to depend on the same level at all times. Because when rain a fall for you, sometimes a sunshine for them. When sun a shine for you, sometimes rain a fall for them. So everybody not going to depend on the same footing at the same time all the time. Sometimes you enjoy a little success. Sometimes you enjoy a little failure. Sometimes you enjoy a little movement and progress. Sometimes no movement, no progress. And vice versa. But you see, if you have people around you who don't believe that you should move at a pace faster than they are moving, you will never get the encouragement to take on your 10 mile. Because them have 2 mile shoes. And as much as you tell them, say, no man, I feel so that period I can do the 10 mile. You see, if them believe say you know if you move faster than them or go further than them are going to keep encouraging you to take on 2 miles, the 2 miles. Them want you to take on what them can manage. If them can manage it, them not going to tell you to do it. And so you have to get yourself situated in an environment where you can be surrounded by people who are okay if you are going a little faster and they don't begin to feel inadequate. You have to situate yourself in a space where you're surrounded by people who, if you are going slower than they are, them not feel like them have nothing over you now for turn back and say, they look how I forgot help him. They look how I forgot help she. Remember say I needed help you. Remember say I needed help them. So you have to find good friends. And good friend are not just the friend who show up when you call and said, Jesus, I'm stressed out, come. Or lend you money when you need money. Or drive you go A to B when you need a drive. It's those moments when you are about to go further than them and them a push you and I say, go on, me catch you up, man. Go on, tell me how to ride. Call me and tell me if you find a shortcut. Me I come up, me just can't make it now, but you go on. Or when they are experiencing the surge and the growth and the expansion, they don't see it as a burden to turn back and say, come friend, here's what I've learned. Here is how I do this. Here is how I think you can learn from my experience. Here's a little bit of the brata from where, me get out is something for you. They don't see it as anything burdensome. And they certainly don't see it as something to rub back in your face. When you are in your valley, you're going to find out what type of friendships you really have. And I'll talk in a future live about friendships and what you should look for in good friendships. Now the science mega talk now, not the personal experience, because there are scientists who research friendships. Strange, right? But there are people who research friendships and what makes for good relationships. I'm going to share that with you in another live. But I go back to the points I wanted to share with you. You have to accept failure as a consequence of choosing to live. The minute you accept that failing is a part of the choice to live your life, you will lose that sense of fear that what if you fail, and so you're not going to bother try. And 2, when you are deciding on this journey that you're going to take, be careful of the voices that you have around you. Now, I'm not telling you to surround yourself with yes man and yes woman. But know when people are giving you advice because of what they want versus what they know you want. So you'll have a friend who knows, say, boy, say Stacey ambition is really to become a doctor. And my sister Stacey want to apply for this law degree. But all along me I talk to Stacey. Stacey tell me say a medicine she like. So now Stacey asked me what me think about a law program here. I forgot to tell Stacey, say, listen, remember say, all this time I'm medicine where I talk about, what change? I not discourage you from the law program, but you sure say this you really want? Because from me know you just depend this stethoscope something. So a friend who understands what your real desires are will see you doing something and say, but babes, remember saying this you did want, Fam, bro, sis, remember saying this you say you want, Versus saying, no, Sam, I think if I try that, I wouldn't try it if I did me. Yes? So be careful of the people who you have around you, because the type of advice they give you could be to help them feel more comfortable with your life versus reminding you, being a sort of vanguard for your vision, reminding you what you say you really want, what you value, what you're working towards. So there's an accountability side to friendship that will require them to tell you, say, no, not do it. But the no and the discouragement comes from a place of love for you and them wanting to honor what they know you want, because you've said that this is what you want and you're taking a path now that is in contradiction to the thing that you say you want. So accept that failure is part of life and bring people along on the journey who can give you advice that you trust. Because we can't do this thing alone. If we expect life to be easy, anytime something hard come, it's going to knock you down for longer than it needs to knock us down. And when you're reaching a valley, you will think that that is where you belong and where you must stay. And I said earlier that one of the first things that happens when you hit a rock bottom place, when you hit a failure, when you hit a disappointment, when you hit a loss, is for you to start questioning yourself like, yo, what wrong with me? Like, oh, me, bad luck, so. Oh, nothing can work for me, so. And you start to make it a me issue, like something wrong with me if I am failing. No, it's a natural part of the process. And the same thing that we admire in these stories that you hear about Oprah and Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg and all of the big name them, we read about them in a book and we say, wow, so inspiring. Notice that none of those stories talk about a smooth pathway and journey from where they started in life to where they are now as millionaires and billionaires. What inspires us is the struggle and the strain and the stress and the problem and the hardship and how they dealt with the hardships. And that inspire we. The person who born with a gold spoon in their mouth and never have to work hard for nothing yet and then win something or get some big prize. That's not really inspiring. It's a nice story. We're glad for them. Yeah, good things for people. Pick up yourself, more good things. Yeah, but that not say, wow, yo, that just give me a buzz and make me just feel like, yo, me need to step up the thing and me just have a vibes there now, because it's a struggle and how people deal with their struggle. So the same thing that you are admiring in their stories, admire it in yourself too. Admire it in yourself too. When you see that you're experiencing moments of failure, struggle, strain, pain, hardship, you're in at the valley, just take a deep breath. Boy, see the story I come here now. See the turnaround here. Okay. And this I got inspire my grandpitney them now when me tell them how me to deal with this. Alright, I get my head in the game, I buckle down myself and focus on how I'm gonna get out of this, because this here so is going to be something that serves a generation after me. One more person. It's a testimony where when me give it, somebody get hear it and say, wow, I feel like say, yeah, I could do this too. So embrace the struggle. Good things happen to good people. Good things happen to bad people. Bad things happen to bad people, but bad things also happen to good people. So when you realize that you have experienced disappointment, it's not because something wrong with you. Because remember, bad things happen to good people and bad things happen to bad people. Disappointment is there for everybody. So when it is your turn to experience it, don't personalize it. Don't tell yourself, say, Lord, woe is me. I eat this now. My dead here now. I can't come back. What is the point? That kind of perspective don't get the energy for move through your valley. And Psalm 23:4 say, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. A lot of us hear that psalm and we say, yeah, because nothing frighten me. I'm not afraid of nothing scare me. That's an important part of the scripture. But another important part, up in the first part, it says, yea, though I walk through, I don't come here to stay. I not take up residence. I am a visitor to the valley. The valley is not my yard. Yea, though I walk through it. So when you reach your valley, them know your first response can be, Jesus, now me give up. Can't take no more. Father God, I eat this. Me done now. Drop the bag them. Yeah, do I walk through? And you tell this? And if I hear say come, this is not the stop. This is a destination, but this is not the destiny. So where do I drop the bag then? Boy, you give up. Yeah, though I walk through. So if you decide to now walk through, where's the help going to come from to bring you through? If you decide to say yes, stay, how are you going to get out? So the first tool that I would recommend to anybody who might be in their valley right now is to be still and welcome the alone time in the struggle, whatever that struggle is. Whatever the valley is that you're in right now, before you drop it back them and say, you know what, kick out the shoe, done what, not take another step. Before you do that, just take some time in that moment to be alone and still and hear how you are to walk through or work through or heal through this valley. Because sometimes the valley requires different things of us. I know valley are going to come in our life, you know, and every valley you treat the same way. Some valley, you have to go aggressive and work through them. Some of the valleys, you have to go take a softer, more delicate approach. Some of the valleys is internal work. You have some healing and some restoration and reparation to do. So the first thing you have to do now is quiet your mind. Zone in, listen in, settle in, get silent in, and allow the universe to talk to you, allow your creator to talk to you. That inner voice and that inner wisdom that we talk about, the source of life, the wisdom, the life wisdom and divine direction, all of us have it in us. All of us have it in us. But sometimes life too noisy, so we're not here. We can't hear. And the valley is sometimes the moment where we get to slow down. Slow down and get still. Everything we did urgent, everything we did have to do, everything we did must do. Oh, I found somebody. Whoop. Hey. Because I was wondering who this person is. I saw people replying and I couldn't see who it was. Right. So sometimes the valley is the opportunity to slow down. And I know some people will hear what I'm saying and just automatically locate it like it have to always do with relationship. Life is more complicated than who you're there with and who you don't there with. Life is so much more complicated than that. There are so many other valleys to go through except that. So I don't want you guys to restrict the message and make it about only relationships. It can be about anything. You know what you're dealing with. But sometimes you get into the valley now, and at the only moment you get in such a long time for just stop. Just take a breath. For just cree. In Jamaica, when you play one game and you're tired and you want to pause, you say cree. Like the valley of the cree. You get for go so. No man! I so much things did I go on. Just cree now. The valley make you can say cree. And stop. And listen. Look at your life. What has your life been telling you all along? Play back some conversation. What were those conversations telling you? Just going back over the data, the life data. My friend Rasheen Robinson calls it life data. You just look back and say, what was I missing? What was life asking of me and I wasn't answering with? What was life telling me and I was not taking note of? Just looking back at life. The valley allows you to pause and just hear the right voice, the divine voice and the direction that you may have missed. So appreciate the time in the valley and make use of the stillness, the calm, the quiet, and the slower pace. Because life just give you a cree. Life just give you a cree. And you can be so frustrated with yourself that you don't realize it's a pause that is meant to serve you. So you start get frustrated and frantic and antsy and do everything to try and move fast. Sometimes the valley is the cree, is the pause. You're supposed to stop and listen. Sorry, there's another person here who is allowing me to emotionally abuse them, and I don't like that. I don't like to abuse people. So take the cree. Just be still, no rush it. Be patient and give yourself the time. Accepting, of course, that you're not in the valley to stay. So you're not in no haste and no rush for splurt. Because you know, so you're not going to stay. You're not going to stay, so. You're not going to feel bad forever. You're not going to sad forever. You're not going to have pain forever. You're gonna move past it. You know? But what do you do in that dip? What are you doing at the valley? Vex with yourself till you come out, or be still and hear. Be still and hear what is being said. What is here for me? What do I need to learn? Just be patient and compassionate with yourself. Be still. I've had to do that a lot in my life because there are a lot of things that, I work on a day-to-day basis, and sometimes it can feel like you're alone. Nobody understands it. You're not seeing the payoff, you know. If you own a business, you know what I mean. It can be discouraging. Not everything in life and every moment in life is a point of encouragement. And you don't have to be really, one of my friends would call it rose-colored glasses. You have to, like your rose-colored glasses tint of a strong. For you, just see rose every single day in your life. Just all you see are good things. Sometimes some bad things there, and you have to accept it. No man, that one is bad. That's your valley. And since it's bad, I'm going to be still and ask, what lesson should I learn now? What is being taught to me about myself? How will I come out of this valley stronger, fitter, better, braver? How? And sit down and figure it out. That's the first thing. Just being open enough, patient enough to be still when you get the cree. Just be still and listen to what's going on. Listen to what the people around you are saying, how they are interpreting you being in your valley. You know, who is rejoicing and who is celebrating and who is glad, who is concerned, who is loving, who is supportive, who is compassionate. Yeah? Learn inside how you feel about yourself. What are the things you're saying to yourself? What were the things you said to yourself that made yourself feel this way and lead you here? So just listen to your life. Listen to your life in the valley. The other thing I find to be very useful is a powerful definition of self. And this is where the people who are on now, I really hope you guys screenshot this part of it, right? The mischief makers who are on the live. Oh, remember, for those who are just coming on, there's a rule here. If you have something negative to say, if you're not a lover of Krystal, like you don't pre-map my energy and my vibe with love, I'm not saying you shouldn't watch this live, you know. I'm saying you have to be emotionally responsible. Because if you hate me like poison, you can't be here looking in my face, listening to my voice and allowing it to touch the deepest parts of your soul, because you're probably going to have a nightmare tonight. But kind of like me, and you're just there and listen to my voice and looking at my face. So be careful how you watch this live, because you're either going to give yourself a nightmare or you're going to leave with a changed mind about me. However, if you comment anything that is disrespectful on my page and my live, I'm going to block you. All right? So if you realize that, you know, you get bumped off the live and you can't find it back, it's because I block you. All right? Now, but I refresh Instagram too much. Just know what happened. And this is me looking out for your emotional health and well-being. Because I'm a nice person. I never understand why you wouldn't like me. You say, I look out for you and you don't even like me. But that's what I'm going to do for you. Okay? So yeah, self-definition I find is a powerful tool in the valley. The silence and the stillness that come from getting a cree and a pause. But self-definition I find to be a very powerful tool. And I'll tell you why. You have to know yourself in the valley. Because when you get in the valley, a couple of things are going to happen. I mentioned one of them earlier. You start questioning yourself, like, why me? Why me? Why does this have to happen to me? And that's the song I played earlier by Kevin Downswell and Ryan Mark. I often ask, why me? And when we're in the valley, that's what we're going to ask. Why me? Why things can't go better? Why things always have a bad for me? You know, why me? It just seems like there's a never-ending weight on my shoulders and I can't catch a break. Why me? And then you start calling yourself all kind of names. You know, and you insert the negative self-talk. You know, you start blaming yourself and beat up yourself for being in the valley. Remember, we have to accept that the valley is a part of the journey. And there must be something where you don't learn it that you have to learn in order to come out of that valley stronger. So, yeah, though I walk through it, I'm going to learn I'm supposed to learn because I'm going through it. But you have to know yourself, because when you're in the valley now, all kind of voices are going to start come tell you who you be. Either you start calling yourself names that are not divine, names that are not of your creator, names that are not of God. You start attach some label to yourself where they aren't true. That's not who you are. But you see, because you never define yourself and you're not clear on who you are and who send you come and who for energy and spirit and affirmation and permission you walk with on this earth, when you're reaching at the valley now, you start wonder if a cross is a follow you. You start wonder if something wrong with you, why you have to in the valley. Nothing wrong with you. And you have to define yourself better than that. So when bad things happen, you remember who you be. Because a lot of us forget who we are when things get rough. And another way to look at it is your true definition of yourself, what you really think about yourself, is what you're going to put on display when you're going through the valley. Because that is who you think you are. That is who you think you are. So if you go through the valley now, you get vicious and bitter and war. And just be a war and cuss and you have to draw down everybody. Because if you don't, everybody have to down. That is who you are. You've defined yourself to be a contentious person. So you choose disharmony instead of harmony. That is who you've chosen to be. Choose better. Define better. Define yourself better than that. So that when you're in the valley, you don't put on clothes when I fit you. You look for your clothes. My clothes is peace. So a peace me I put on right now in the valley. I'm not going to pick no fight and no war with nobody. My clothes is love. So I'm not going to show no hatred. I'm not going to show no disrespect. Because my clothes are what? Love. That disrespect shirt, they not fit me. That not fit me and that me wear. But you have to know yourself first. Because if you don't know yourself, you will put on anything. And sometimes the easiest thing for grabbing at the valley are some dirty clothes. A valley in you know. A valley in some people pass through the valley and left some dirty clothes down there. And you reach the valley now and you want to reach and pick up the dirty clothes and wear. And are you that? That are your shirt, and your pants, and your shoes, and your socks, and your gloves, and your hat, and your glasses. That it can't fit you. It can't fit you. So when I am in my valley, there is not going to be any spirit of war and strife. Because that's not who I am. That's not who I am. The clothes don't fit me. And not because I go through something difficult. I go squeeze up myself in them clothes then. No, it doesn't smell good. And I might close that. Then me could I really put on that shirt then? No. I don't mind that. Somebody leave it in there for me. Somebody want to put it on. But I don't mind. I know myself. I know who I am. So I see the comments, you know, sometimes and asking, you not answer them because for me, I stretch them out and bend them up and done them long time. I don't mean that. The clothes don't fit me. Clothes don't fit me, and I mean that. And that is why. That is why I know who I am. And there's nothing about the words that people have to say that is enough to change me and turn me into who I am not. It's not gonna happen. So one of my biggest tools in any valley when me I go through is to remember who I be. I'm a child of God. I'm created by the Most High. May I walk around with a divine God essence. A God make me. And a play don't make me. You understand? And somebody walking and mouth and one print left back and then them say, oh, that name she? A God make me. And if I'm a child of God, I saw me I go walk around like a child of God. So even when I'm in the valley, I'm not forget who I am. I'm not forget my principles. I'm going to forget my values. Not because things get rough. Not because things get difficult. So know who you are. And the other reason why you have to be clear on who you are in the valley. Fam, the valley have some vermin. The valley has some vermin. Like people who live and thrive in the valley. You see the dark, moldy, wet, frowsy, rocky, hard place them. There are some people who love to live there. Sometimes you see people make a comment and say, oh, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I live for this. Some people live for the valley. They love to see you low because they have decided to live in the valley. So them love when them get like a company. What you say? I drop a drop? Glad to have you down here. Stay down here. Them still like you not drop yet. Them a reach for bring you down in the valley too, because valley them live in her. And I call them the vermin of the valley. You know, you talk about the shadow of the valley of death? I call them the vermin in the valley. That's where they thrive. They love to have you there. And them are going to give you the clothes to put on where they don't fit you. And if you don't know who you are, you will start to answer to the names that they're calling you. Like one of the things I see now are people telling me who I am. Like them literally making up a story, right? Them not satisfied with how things have gone in the last week, and they need to make it into something that satisfy them. So they might make up every story and I call every name. And then me I talk to. Oh, me must answer you. I don't know what you're talking about because it's not me. You say you're talking about me, but I know who I am, and the person the way I talk about is not me. You just make up somebody so you can cuss, and make up somebody so you can vex, and make up somebody for your eat. Have fun. Have fun. But Anna me I talk to. Anna me I talk about. So you think you're talking about me, but you're not talking about me because that's not who I am. So Omi must come join the vermin in the valley and debate with them and quarrel with them and prove to them and show them and open their eyes. That's not their goal. You see them ask a question, they're not asking any question, they're making statements. So what I must do, run down the statement and the fact that they're having them head? No. If you want me to answer a question, you could ask. I might answer. But if you never ask a question, certainly no say you're not calling me. If you make up your mind about something and decide that this is true and I saw it go, and you know, the person here do this and the person here do that, make up the story. Make up the story. It's not me you're talking to. And that's why I'm not answering you. It's not me you're talking about. You think you're talking about me, but you're not talking about me. And so, I'm not going to answer you. Because I know who I am. And there's nothing you can say in this world to confuse me about who I am, or to get me to debate with you about who I am. It's not going to happen. So one of the great tools for me in the valley is self-definition, because that gives me peace. I don't feel the need to prove anything anywhere. So that's what's been keeping me settled, calm, at peace, and just literally unbothered. Because I know who I am. And to know that is divine direction. Because not only do I know who I am, I know where I'm going. Cue that gospel song. I know where I am going. Right? And the last thing I want to share with you in terms of the third tool to use in the valley. It comes from knowing that pain is not permanent. And that's how you're going to be able to use this next tool. You have to know that what you're feeling while you're in the valley is not permanent. It's temporary. And some of us give us, hey, Michael, bless up, bless up, bless up. Thank you so much, my friend. Some of us give our pain permanence when it's meant to be temporary. But we own it and we hug it up and we say, boy, I just my life this. I feel away. That's not your always. You are blessed. You are so fearfully and wonderfully made. You are a child of the creator of this world. Like how much people could have born and are you born? How much people did already and you're still here? You're awesome and you're amazing. What do you mean? Pain is not your birthright. It's purpose and love. But you have to accept that first, that the pain not permanent. No matter how hard it feeling, no matter how it act, it's not permanent. It's not permanent. But we make it permanent depending on how we deal with it. So you get a cut, and instead of treat the cut to heal the cut, you pick it. You know, it start healing, you start pick off the scab. You look on it and I dig your finger down in there a little more because you have to say, you see you, and you put yourself in a position to feel pain. And I push your finger down in there some more and I show some people and I say, look, they touch it, and then dig it out some more. Like you have chosen not to heal and to create permanent pain where naturally the course of life will heal you. Them say time heal all wounds. But the most important lesson there is with time, you will heal. But you can't just look on the pain stand as it start, you pick it off, and you put yourself in a position so that it get reinfected and all kind of something. Like you're standing in the way of your healing and then telling yourself that all you've ever known is pain. The pain is permanent. The pain isn't permanent. And so here's a tool. Self-compassion. You have to love yourself. You have to love yourself enough to give yourself permission to heal. You have to love yourself enough to give yourself permission and time and the resources and the medication and the bandage and the cotton and the alcohol. Give yourself all that you will need to heal. And not many of us love ourselves enough to treat ourselves well when we're going in the valley. When we're sitting in the valley, we start beat up ourselves. And that makes it so hard to come out. Because we not show ourselves no love, we not show ourselves no respect, we not show ourselves no honor. Because we're in the valley, we become our own vermin in our own ears, a thought down to ourselves. So just to go back over, I saw you guys asking about a donkey fellow. I'm gonna keep them so busy creating fake pages, but I saw it go. I enjoy it. I saw it. So just to go over quickly, the 3 tools that I consistently use to go through the valley is my valley toolkit, right? Whenever I see myself going through hardship, disappointment, struggle, stress, whatever it is, first thing I affirm in my head is, all right, this is part of life, right? I'm not a victim. I'm just somebody who is living. And once you're alive, this is going to happen. There's going to be some disappointment. There's going to be some stress. There's going to be some pain. Something are going to come. Oh, wait, I haven't seen. Somebody said to block John Crow. I don't see John Crow. Come, John Crow. Write something, make I see you. I'm not seeing it. Oh, here we no. Wait, what is happening here? All right, let me see. If another negative comment pops up, hopefully I'll see it. I can't find it. Right. The Valley Toolkit. So remember, I come into the valley understanding that this is a familiar place. I'm going to see enough more valley, but I don't belong here. I am a visitor, right? I don't belong here. I am here for a specific reason, and it's to learn something and grow my way out of this valley. Yeah, do I do what? I walk through. Okay? I walk through. So, I accept that. And then I make use of the Kree, the stillness, the quiet, the silence. What am I supposed to learn here? Oh, somebody asked me to turn off the comments. Okay, I just did. What am I to learn here? What in this valley, in this quiet and in this silence am I supposed to learn? And guys, I'll take questions after. So if you have questions, you can use the question feature. And I'll just jump in for questions, maybe like 10 minutes of questions. So I make use of the Kree, the stillness, the pause of the moment, right? The valley threw me off. You know, I was on a plateau, maybe I was on a peak, but the valley, okay, is a Kree, is a timeout, pause. What is my life trying to tell me? Let me learn. Let me listen. The other tool I use is self-definition. I have to know who I am, because in the valley, you will start to tell yourself things, beat yourself up. And the vermin in the valley who love to see you there, right? Those are the things that they thrive on. They enjoy it. It's just a joy for them to see people going through difficult times. Like, them enjoy it. Like, it's just like, wow, oh my God. Somebody crash, yes. Show me the blood. Who dead? Who for broke? Oh my God. Say me so them not a care again. Oh, praise the Lord. They're without. I love it. The valley vermin love to see you there. And so you'll find yourself being fed those voices while you're in the valley. And you start questioning yourself. So you need to have a strong and powerful definition of who you are. So when you're in the valley and it is difficult, you don't lose sight of who you are. Because you're so much bigger than the circumstance that you're in right now. You're so much bigger than the challenge that you're overcoming right now. You're a big ball of potential. Something I say all the time, you are not your failures. I don't want nobody to define me by my failures. I don't want nobody to define me by my success. I am not my failures and I am not my successes. If you think I've done amazing things before, don't define me by that. Because I'm such a big ball of potential, you don't even see half of what I'm capable of doing yet. Because that's how I define myself. Not by the success and the failure. Those are things I experience. I define myself by my potential. And as long as I continue to see my potential, the half has not been told. So, have a powerful definition of yourself. And exercise compassion, self-compassion, self-love. Take care of yourself. Don't allow yourself to succumb to those negative feelings, whether it is a negative self-talk, whether it is a disappointment you face, whether it's the real difficulty of the situation, because valleys are not just emotional spaces. Sometimes valleys are financially difficult spaces. Valleys are spaces that prevent you from completing your degree, from finding a job, from keeping a job, from putting food on your table. A valley is anything at all that puts you in a position of great difficulty, where slow you up. You're supposed to move, but you can't move. You're in the valley. And I say you belong, there's nothing growing there, there's nothing thriving there. But I say you're there right now. So it can be anything, and only you know your situations. So when you're in that difficult situation, it not help focus yourself, because that's not a solution. Take care of yourself. Look and see what you need to heal from. Look and see what you need to work on. Look and see what you need to walk through. One of the things I shared on my page was that when you're in the valley, plant, invest in something, invest in yourself. Since you're going to be there, spend some time doing something that will improve you and how you're seeing and enjoying life. So it's part of the healing process. Do you need to start reading different things? Do you need to start going different places so you can meet different people and get different perspectives and understanding? Expand your circle professionally and otherwise. What else could you do right now while you wait on things to turn around, while you wait to develop the strength, while you're working on relearning and healing? What could you do every day that positively invests in your future self? Because remember, you know who you are, you know. So even though you're there, so now, you know, so you're nasty, so there's somewhere else that you're going, you know, there's a future. So what will you do while you're in the valley to show that you have hope for your future? How will you act like you know that there is hope for your future? What will you plant in the valley? You have to plant something. Maybe I can start eat different. Maybe I can start drink some more water. Maybe I can start work out. Maybe I can start read. Maybe I can start get some more sleep. What are you going to do to treat yourself better, even while you are healing and growing through? So those are the 3 things that are in my valley toolkit whenever I'm experiencing difficulty. Whenever I'm experiencing difficulty and disappointment, which is regular. Like Oliver Travel, regular. Very regular, right? And when I say regular, I mean, if we're going to go 100%, let's say maybe 20 to 30% of the time, there's a huge problem to solve. That's difficult to solve. There's something that I was setting myself up to do, and it not happened, fail. Things say me go left it to work, roadblock, things roadblock. About 20 to 30% of the time, I'm making my way through the valleys. So that's called regular, right? But I have a toolkit. So if I don't have a toolkit, I'd have spent longer time than necessary in the valleys. But we say we're in there, we ask them together, get our mind in the game, remember who we are, remember the purpose for which we are on this earth. I remember say them valley are for everybody. If me and the first person in a valley like this, so guess what? Me I go do something what makes sense in that valley here. Valley can't get the best of me. Oh, the valley forget the best of me. So I have to walk around with that valley toolkit. So when it gets difficult, I go, oh, all right. Remember that this is a part of life. All right? There's a little bit of stillness. Things have slowed down. Life give you a cree. Take the time and listen. Just go inside and just get centered and settled. All right? Remember your definition of self. Who are you? Or are you that person only when things are good? No, man, you're that person even when things are not good. So be that person in this valley. And how are you going to take care of yourself and show yourself love as you go through this valley? And then do it. So I did promise to take some questions. Mercy me, I'm seeing enough questions. Oh, okay. I just reshared them, so I hope you got it. So it's really 4. Accepting that it's just part of life. Failure is part of life. It's evidence that you're living. When you're not live or when you're going to stop fail. And then accept the moment of stillness, the clarity that comes with things slowing down a little bit. Listen a little deeper to yourself. Listen to your life. Look back at all the cues that you may have missed. Use the pause productively and purposefully. Dig deep into your definition of self because you have to remember who you are when things get difficult. You have to remember who you are. It's easy to be your highest self when a bare nice is in a life. Can you be your highest self when things are not nice? And then finally show yourself some compassion. Like you have to love yourself through even the hard things. Love yourself when things are not easy. Love yourself when things get rough and tough. Love yourself when you fail, when you miscalculate, when you make a mistake. You have to still love yourself. Because it's how you treat you in the moments of failure that's going to determine whether or not you come out of the valley. How you treat yourself when you fail is going to determine whether or not you come out of the valley. So if you treat yourself like a loser, or you go win. You're not give yourself no winner vibe. You're not give yourself no winner energy. You're not give yourself no winner direction, no winner power talk. You give yourself some loser talk. So you go win and come out. You have to love yourself. Blessings to you. Beat by Nords. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, let me see. Somebody's asking, how do I handle the negative due to what's out about my relationship? I had shared it earlier. Most of the things that you are able to see online, I can't see them. I don't see them. I don't follow the pages that share it. And I don't have people in my circle who take pleasure in sharing those things with me. So it really go over my head. Like there's some days when I get up and I get messages like people are saying, Krystal, are you okay? We're just checking if you're doing well. And I say, oh, what do you think happened? Like something happened? And like I have to start asking, like, did I miss something? Like what happened? I really just don't know. I really just don't know. So I don't see half of it. 1 and 2. And 2, I also disassociate myself from whatever negative comments I do see. I know they're not talking about me. Because it's just not me. Like the person who they make up and I talk about. And I'm me. Like that's not true. So if you insist that somebody that they will do that, somebody that they will think that, and them have my name, I must want next one because I'm me. It's not me talking to. And because me accept says can't be talking to, it don't bother me. Because I know who I am. Tassie, yes, this is Good Gas Mondays. Welcome if this welcome. Oh, okay. This question here. How to forgive a relative who continues to treat you bad? So there's a whole forgiveness mechanism, right? And it's not something I can just tell you in a live. And it's not something you can do one time and it work either. It's a process. But I'll tell you the principle behind it. Forgiveness is something that you do for yourself. One of the things my mother taught me when I was a teenager You know, when you're a teenager, you take everything personal. Everything get up into, God, in Jamaica we call it your craw. It get up into my craw, right? I'm just annoyed as a teenager. How they must have I'm vexed, I'm disappointed, like, I'm malice you because you shouldn't do it. And she would say to me, you know, that takes a lot of energy, you know, from you to malice somebody, because you have to remember that you're mad at them every time you see them. Like, you could be in the middle of a happy moment, and when them come, you have to start frowns and make up a face and make them know, say, yeah, me not like you, I may carry some energy against you. Yeah. You have to really interrupt your flow to remember that you're angry at that person, to manifest that anger, to show them in order to make them uncomfortable so they know that they are not forgiven. Why do you want to invest so much time in somebody else? Like, why do you want to carry that weight and that baggage? And since she taught me that as a teenager, like, I've taken that lesson to heart. I've taken it to heart. But none of time for malice. If you've done me something that I think is dishonorable, unfortunate, unkind, I'm going to forgive you, because I'm not going to walk around with that in my spirit. That's not my burden to bear. Make your conscience be your guide. I did what I had to do to show respect, to show love, etc. So in your case, where you say you have a relative who treats you bad, I'm assuming that you don't treat them bad in return. Like, you are good, you're vulnerable, you show up for them, you're kind. But they're not returning your kindness with kindness. Don't change who you are because of who other people are. That's the first rule. So don't make them make you into who you're not, or who you're not comfortable being. And two, remember that forgiveness is not for them. It's not for them, you know. It's for you. For you to be able to calmly, peacefully exist in life around other people. So that's the principle of forgiveness. And so you'll never run out of forgiveness. Understanding that it's something you're giving to somebody. Yeah? You know, you're forgiving. But it's also something to release the weight and the energy from your spirit, that negative vibe from your spirit. So forgiveness makes your burden lighter. So unless you don't want a lighter burden, then don't forgive. But as long as you want greater ease and peace in life, the principle is to forgive as often and as completely as you can. Because animosity and anger and unforgiveness doesn't change the person. Doesn't change the person. It just gives you another burden to carry. Guys, I was swiping away and actually swiped off the screen. All right, let me go way down to the bottom, because there's some persons who asked questions earlier. Seeing a question here about whether it will be available after. Yes, we will post it after. All right, this question here about self-help books that I would recommend reading through the valley. It's actually a devotional that I'm going to recommend. It's written by Ian Van Zandt, and it's called Until Today. I remember in 2018, that was my morning devotional for the whole year. So there's a lesson there for every day of the year. And it's themed. So the sections, the months have a different theme. So 1 month is actually forgiveness. So depending on what it is you're going through, you can literally flip through to a month, one of the 12 months, and it will have a theme related to your personal, emotional health and well-being. And I found that book to be very helpful. I still have it. In fact, in 2020, I went back to it as a morning devotional. Not using it this year, but I still have it. So it's one of those books that just don't get old for me. And it's something that you can be using consistently for 365 days of the year. Excuse me. So I would recommend that book, Ian Van Zandt, Until Today. I got it on Amazon. Hi, I seen a message here from Sandra. Yes, I am live every Monday. All right, I think this is gonna be the last question that I tackle. I did say 10 minutes and we're at 8:15. All right, I'm gonna take 2 more. Okay, so this is one. How do you handle someone who is close to you but just constantly spits negative lyrics about you? Cut it off. All right. And it's not as easy as me saying cut it off, because I don't know how close the person is, the nature of the relationship. who they are to you, whether somebody can truly cut off or you will have to interact with them regularly. I don't know. But limit your interactions with them. First rule is don't share anything intimate and personal with them. You can't trust them to keep your business to themselves. Right? So that's the first thing. Don't put them in a position to harm you with important and sensitive information. Not share nothing with them. No matter how much you forgive them, you can't keep putting yourself at a risk like that. So that's the person that you're not going to call when you're having a difficulty. When them call and ask you, hey, I'm just checking in, how are things? Are you okay? Is there anything I can help you with? Anything stressing you out today? No, I'm blessed. The Lord has showed up for me in so many ways. I've laid everything at the cross in prayer. And I'm just waiting on the resolution, because while I pray like it depends on God, I'm here working like it depends on me. So I'm blessed and highly favored. How are you? Right? You know, I have nothing for share. You know, I have no sad story for share. You take that to the Lord in prayer or to somebody that you can actually trust. So that's the first thing. Draw the line. No sensitive information. 2, you don't have to spend time around them just to prove that you are the bigger person. A lot of us put ourselves in those situations, like you're trying to hang around people who are toxic, unhealthy, who you know don't mean you any good. When you turn your back, them a talk about you, but just so that it don't look bad to other people, you stay. When them enter the chat, you don't exit the chat, right? And you sit down, somebody have drinks and them come, you sit down there and go and drink same way. No, man, you have to draw the line. Energy carries. So you can't be sitting in that space with the energy constantly being pushed on you. You're going to make yourself uncomfortable, just to prove to people that you're not uncomfortable. No, man, when you're uncomfortable, you're uncomfortable. And say, peace be with you. You know, the mood in this room and the vibe in this room just changed. And me name, protect my energy, protect my peace, protect my space. So, I'm going to lift up you now. Bless up. What's at me? May I will talk here? Whoever it is you did not talk to before the mood in the room change. So you have to draw those lines now in terms of the information that you share with them, one, and the physical space that you share with them. If there's any other reason that you guys might interact, like by buck up or accidentally, know who you are. What are your values? That's the first thing I'm going to say now. Know who you are and what are your values. How do you treat people? And even in circumstances where people don't treat you well, what are your values about how you treat people who don't treat you well? Because if you have a value that says, even when people don't treat me well, I will be respectful, because I respect clothes me put on a daytime. Remember that when you see them. Don't not be who you say you are, and don't value the thing that you say you value. Or discard the value you say you have, because in that moment you're angry and you don't like this person. Just remember who you are and don't allow them to change you, because that's what you're going to regret. You ever make somebody draw you out yet and them say something to you and you just dip up? If you're Jamaican, you know what it means to dip up, right? And when you dip up and you finish, now you finish them off like Goku, right? And then you say, wow, that's not me. I feel so bad. I can't believe I said that. I'm ashamed of myself. Then people hear me, I say that. How make that come out of my mouth? Embarrass your own self just because you allow them to trigger you and abandon your values momentarily. Don't give anybody that power and that control. So limit the conversations and the type of information you share with them as best as you can. Stay out of their way and out of their space. And when you do interact with them, just remember your values and don't change yourself in order to prove anything to anybody or to settle the score or balance the score. Be who you are and honor the values that you have. Does it stop them from doing the dishonorable thing and being negative towards you? No, that's not a guarantee. But our job in life is not to manage others. It's to manage ourselves. It's not to create peace in others. It's to create peace in ourselves. Is not to make others mature, is to mature in ourselves, to grow in ourselves. We have one thing where we can be responsible for in our life, and that is ourselves and our choices. So let us not get too focused on how to handle others. Others have to handle themselves. My job is to handle me. How do I manage me in these moments? And it really all comes back down to the values that you hold there. So I hope that was helpful, Roshana. I think I said I was going to take 2 more after this, right? Jesus! I see a question here, so I think I may have to respond to this one in a DM, because that one here looks spicy. Oh, repeating the name of the book, it's Until Today by Ianla Van Zandt. A recommendation here from somebody that I write a book. I actually have written a book. I wrote a book in 2018 titled Kill Fear, The Art of Courageous Living. It's available on Amazon, and there are a few copies available in Mega Mart stores right across Jamaica. But anywhere you are in the world, you can actually order it right now on Amazon. Kill Fear by Krystal Tomlinson. So yeah, have a read. There are some interesting perspectives in that book, and one of the points I wrote about in the book I actually shared on the live, which is the power of self-definition. You have to know who you are. You have to put on your clothes before you come on road and people try to put on clothes for you. You have to know who you are. And understanding yourself and defining yourself for yourself saves you a lot of grief and a lot of anxiety. Because nobody can tell you who you be. And that's the thing, you know, people get power from saying, yeah man, if me do this and do that them are going to do this. Can't press my button. I know who I am. And I have very specific triggers. And people calling me names is not one of them. All right, I'm trying to pick two. Olivia asking if I have a podcast. Yes, I do. It's actually titled Good Gas Mondays. You can find it on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, anywhere podcasts are available. Good Gas Mondays is actually there as well. All right, so penultimate questions. I'll take this one and one more. How do you handle a coworker who's malicing you for something you're not aware of? We're gonna handle it like adults. We're gonna handle it like adults. So if it's a situation where we need to have lunch together, where I need to pop over by your desk and say, hey, can I have 2 minutes to talk to you about something important? Putting on my big girl pants, right? Putting on my big girl voice, looking at you with my big girl face. We have to talk about something, and we're adults in this room, so let's just lay the cards on the table. Do you have 5 minutes? I want to share something with you or pick your brain on something. Them say yes, okay, let's move. But the first thing is you have to have permission. If you're gonna handle the issue and work it out as adults, both persons have to be willing to work it out. So assuming that they say yes, you just go straight for it. You know, somebody made me aware of something, and I just want to be transparent and have this conversation with you because I think it's the mature thing to do. Is there something that I may have done to offend you that I'm not aware of, that I could perhaps apologize for, make amends for, or clarify? And give them the opportunity to be honest. If they're honest with you, you can clarify and you take the steps from there depending on what it is. If they choose not to be honest with you, which some people will just pretend like I know nothing. Me, no say here, say me, no, not me, no, I know who tell you so, lie. Me good, me not beg for nothing. There are some people who will not be honest with you. But you have an opportunity to open the door to honesty. Let them know that I'm here to have this honest, mature conversation. It may be a difficult and uncomfortable one, but I think that's what adults do. Adults have uncomfortable conversations with a sense of maturity and honesty. So here I am asking if there's anything you'd like to say to me, ask me, correct me about, maybe a misunderstanding, so we can sort it out. If them say yes, proceed. If them say no, you say okay, no problem. But I just thought it was sensible for me to not use hearsay and judge you, so I was giving you an opportunity to share to my face anything that you might have been concerned about. If you recall what the situation is or feel comfortable at a point in the future to talk to me, please feel free. I'm always open for a one-on-one conversation because I just think that's what adults do. We deal with things up front. So if you're ever ready to talk about it, I'm here to talk about it with you. But give them the opportunity to be honest. Hopefully they take it. Not everybody will take it. Some of them will pretend like nothing don't happen. And the last question here is from Kim Grizzle. If we're still registering for the masterclass, yes, we are. We actually close off registration on January 31, which is next week, Sunday. So go ahead and click the link in my bio to register. For anybody who is not sure what that is about, for the next 12 months, I'm leading a mastermind class, which is really dedicated to people who have some goals that they're tired of putting off and need an accountable community to keep them focused and push them towards getting it. The first month, January, we've spent looking at the emotional state that we all need to be in if we're going to stay committed to our goals. So we did a whole 7-day self-love challenge because a lot of us simply don't love ourselves enough to set goals that inspire us and to fight for those goals even when it gets difficult. We went through an entire life audit process to look through 8 key areas of your life to see what it really looked like. Sometimes you think you have an awful life, but you have a good life. Sometimes you think you have a great life, but there's some key things that really drive happiness and well-being and peace and purpose that are missing. So we did a comprehensive life audit with every single member. And once the audit is done, you get to see where the gaps are. So where do you need to be improving on personal and intimate relationships? Where do you need to be improving on service to community? Where you need to be improving on self-care, sleep, what you're eating, water, what you're reading, things like that. What work do you really need to do on your whole self, right? So one of my philosophies is we not do vision board until we're clear about what the life is that we have, right? Because a lot of people are just like, oh, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. Pick that career, pick that house there. Okay, but what is the life that you have? Who are you now? And what is the life that you're willing to work for? Because let's be honest, if you're not willing to work for the vision, nobody put the house up there say you live in Hawaii, right? You're somebody when I like travel, you love their Jamaica, you love can go country, right? You love can get your ackee and your banana and your yam, and you tell me say you want to live at Paris. You sure say that you really want? Let's think about it. Don't just put it on there because everybody put the Eiffel Tower up on them vision board. What do you want? You're afraid of playing, you're afraid of heights, you don't like travel, and you have 3 different countries on the vision board. What you have it there for? You know you don't like travel. You're a road trip kind of person who want to drive go someplace, and maybe a Blue Mountain need for there. You understand? Maybe a Lime Key need for there. Take a boat and go over there. So the goal is to focus on the life that you want, the life that's going to make you happy, not the one where look good to other people. Your life, your perfect life, not the perfect magazine one where everybody want, and that, or everybody says they want. And that takes time. It takes radical honesty. It takes a lot of self-compassion to go through some key part of your life and talk the truth. Like, what is strong here? So what is weak here? So am I doing this? Am I not doing this? Where have I fallen short? That life audit don't give you room for blame nobody. It's yourself. And then after we look fully at your life, then we decide where the gaps are, right? Because you tell by yourself now, you tell the truth by yourself. Where are the gaps? And what key actions do you need to take? So last night we went through a battle board session now to convert those big broad actions and big bold goals into tactical steps and strategies, crunching and breaking them down into literal 7-day blocks to make sure that by the end of 2021, December 31, 2021, is a different person. When you look back at your life and do back that audit at the end of 2021, mind blown. You're just like, whoa. And me step up the thing yourself. Last year I give myself a 5 and right now my day I want 8. Why? Because you had some tactics, some critical strategic steps where you take to improve the parts where you found the gap. And then a community that kept you accountable. So you never just do it in a January when it's cool, or do it in a February, or stop in a March, but you were consistent right throughout the year. So those are some of the things that we're doing inside our mastermind. If you click the link in my bio right now, it's the first link on the link tree. You can go ahead and register. We close off registration though on January 31. So if you are tired of setting the goals and not meeting them, if you're tired of giving up in the middle because you don't have the energy, you don't have anybody to inspire and encourage you, you feel like you're going it alone, you're not clear on what goals you even want, like you sit down looking at your life and you just don't know where to go, left, right, middle, stop, forward, back, you don't know. This life audit especially will help you to get clear on that. So it answers a lot of questions that you might have about where you're supposed to do, where you want, what is purposeful, what is worth your time. And then we're backing that up with a lot of emotional tools. So like I share with you, a Valley toolkit. There are a lot of things to help you deal with failure, deal with rejection and disappointment, and just all the range of emotions that tend to derail us when we think we have it, and then the vibe change, and then we not bother do it again. So we want to make sure that you have all the tools possible, emotional, tactical, strategic, every tool, as well as a community of accountability. So on this weekend coming, we're going to be assigning accountability partners. So you will actually, if you choose, you'll have one person who you are accountable to, another gladiator who you lean in on, and allow them to stimulate and motivate you. So we do weekly check-ins as well to see how the battle board process is going. We'll also have monthly check-ins and trainings, and then we have a quarterly session. We have a half-year check-in. So it's literally a community and a family that is working towards clear goals. No room for excuses. We believe in you, so we're not going to allow you to excuse yourself out of your own life. So we're going to stay on you like white on rice to make sure, say, you do the things that you want to do. because that is what's going to give you the sense of fulfillment. But it really works because we do that life audit at the beginning, so we know where you really, really want. Not the thing where you cut out of the magazine and put on the board because everybody have that on the board. The beach and the dumbbell, right? And the big van and the big house. Like, if that's not what you want, it's okay. Look at your life. Like, what makes you happy? What really would make you happy and make you want to get up and show up for your life every day? That's what we want to help you find. And when you find it, we stay with you for the next 12 months to get you on the path to achieving that. So click the link in my bio. I really hope Kim is still on to see the answer to that. And anybody else who is interested, you have to be goal focused though. Like you have to want something. Like in yourself, you have to want something. We can't make you want more. You have to want the more. And it will help you to find and distill what that is that you're working on based on what your life is telling you, and provide you with the systems to get there. So hoping to see more persons registered. I think I have one more. Oh, Niece Morrison is asking the cost for the masterclass. Or mastermind is actually a subscription program. So you would pay monthly to access the tools monthly. So the cost per month is $39 US. I'm not sure what that converts to in Jamaican today and at this moment. Not sure what it converts to pound or to Canadian. But on the platform, it's $39 US. And then that's a monthly subscription fee. So as long as you're inside the community, you're able to unlock monthly tools as we go along, month by month. Ochi, I don't have any books in Ochi yet. Somebody's asking about Kill Fear in Ochi. And somebody's asking about the audio book. Okay, so yes, we did record the audio book. I need to go back and check that third party team that Audible/Amazon uses. The last email I got from them, you know, that standard Corona email where they say, boy, you know, we're stretched with a lot of people and it's taking us a lot of time to review the audio and approve it. So I'm gonna do a check-in with them on that. I recorded it and I had so much fun recording it. Recorded it right here in Jamaica. Yes. All right. How do I stay so positive when people slander me so much? So I think I answered this question already, but in case you hadn't seen it, Gina, I'm just seeing this question. One, it comes from not seeing all of what people have to say. I don't go digging for disrespect. I don't go digging for lies. I don't go digging to say, yeah, what am I have to say? But people's opinions don't matter to me. I will not go digging and searching for them. It's not that important. Hey, you not hear what them are? I'm not hear, but I don't want to hear. Why would I care? Like, the fact that they're interested in me is great. That don't mean say me have interested in with them have to say about me. You know, so I don't have that level of curiosity where I need to know what everybody's saying about me because, you know, hey, you're trying to say, because guess what? I have no intention of running you down to change your mind. So we can't interested. It's not like I have a goal. Like once I see what you have to say, then I have to debate with you. I make sure you change your mind. I can't make people see that. I make it stay there because then people are going to think say true. Anybody who wants to think that the lies are true will think that they're true anyway. If you did want to know if it's true or not, you could have kind of hop over to my page and see if there's anything in my space that corroborates what they're saying over there, saying their space. But I mean, I'm just generally not interested in whether, like on my list of things to do at daytime is not make sure that people like me. That's not one of the goals. So I'm not searching for the opinions to see like, oh, who not like me? What them say? Why them say that? And then finally, self-definition, which I said that like so many times. I define myself. I know who I am. So sometimes them talk about somebody and them think of me them talk about is not me. Because I'm not that person. When you make up that person there, I mean, I'm come debate with you, but the fake person want to make up. Enjoy yourself at your soap opera because that's not me. And I'm comfortable being misunderstood. I'm okay with that. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Some people genuinely choose to misunderstand me. And some people just decide they're not going to like me. That is okay. That is okay. You don't have to be fair in assessing me. The only person who has that duty by law is a judge or a jury of my peers if me ever got caught for one case. Like, that's it. So, that's it for our live today. I can't take any more questions because I'm like well over the 8:30 mark. And I try to make Good Guess Mondays like a 1 hour session, and I'm now at an hour and a half. So guys, I'll post this one on my page and you'll be able to watch it over. Thank you guys for participating. I appreciate you staying on for as long as you did. And I guess I'll just use this mechanism in the future, which is the no comments thing, and just allow people to ask questions, because that's like safer. It keeps everybody focused, right? And we don't get distracted reading some of the madness. So I'll try this moving forward for the Good Gas Monday lives. But thank you guys so much. Remember, we do have our Good Gas Mondays podcast that's available anywhere you get your podcast. So you can actually hop on right now and listen to a few of my GGM episodes. And reiterating that my book is still available on Amazon. A couple of people asked me about the book. It is available on Amazon. Kill Fear, The Art of Courageous Living by Krystal Tomlinson. And the audio, we're going to give you an update on that in the community when the audio book is going to be available. But we just have to work with a third-party team that's managing the upload of the audio to get it on Audible. So as soon as we have an update on that, we'll share it in the community. But thank you guys so very much for being a part of our Good Gas Mondays tonight. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope those nuggets from my Valley Toolkit have served you well. Remember to enjoy the stillness in the valley. Listen to your life and what it's trying to teach you. Be clear on who you are so that the valley doesn't change you or lie to you about who you really are. Because when things get tough, one of the first things we start to do is doubt ourselves and our worthiness. And then finally, making sure that you treat yourself well, even as you're going through difficult times. Take care of you. Be compassionate to you. Surround yourself with people who will be compassionate to you, because you have to love yourself enough to do the work required to get out of the valley. If you hate yourself, you don't really exit the valley. If you hate yourself, you can't heal. If you hate yourself, you can't grow, you can't thrive. So learn to be compassionate and kind to you. And if you feel like you can't find the kindness in yourself, at least surround yourself with those who will be kind and loving and supportive and compassionate when you can't find it in yourself. All right, guys, lots of love, blessings. And again, thank you so much for tuning in this week. Bless up.